Here's something the people selling you AI tools are not going to mention. In 2026, while everybody's racing to bolt AI onto their business, the insurance companies are quietly doing the opposite. They're writing AI out of your policy. This year, the big carriers started adding what's called an AI exclusion. It's a clause that says if your AI causes a problem, your policy doesn't pay. And here's the brutal timing. At the exact same moment your coverage is shrinking, the law is making you more responsible than ever for what your AI does. So you've got liability going up and coverage going down, and the gap in the middle is you. If you run any kind of business and you're using AI, or you're about to, stay with me because this could cost you everything you've built. Let me show you exactly what's happening, because this isn't a rumor, it's already in the paperwork. Back in January, the organization that writes the standard insurance forms for the whole industry, they're called ISO, released 3 brand new AI exclusions for general liability policies. One of them, the big one, cuts coverage for any bodily injury, property damage, or advertising injury that comes out of generative AI. And the carriers moved fast. Chubb, Travelers, Berkshire Hathaway, some of the biggest names in insurance, all got approval from state regulators to start adding AI exclusions to general liability, to directors and officers, and to errors and omissions policies. This is not coming someday. It's on renewal forms right now. And some of these go further than you'd believe. One carrier, Berkeley, filed what they call an absolute AI exclusion. Absolute. The language cuts coverage for any actual or alleged use, deployment, or development of artificial intelligence. Read that again. Use. Not just building AI, using it. So if you're a normal business that just turned on an AI tool somebody sold you, that word use is pointing right at you. An absolute exclusion means there's no wiggle room, no gray area to argue in. If AI touched the problem, the policy is out. That's the most aggressive version, and it's already been filed. So why are insurers doing this? It's simple. They don't know how to price AI risk yet. Insurance runs on data, decades of it. They know exactly how often a roof leaks or a customer slips, so they can put a number on it. AI is brand new. It fails in weird ways nobody's seen before, and there's no long track record to price it from. When an insurer can't measure a risk, they don't take a guess. They exclude it. They'd rather write it out of the policy than get the math wrong and lose a fortune. That's all this is. It's not personal. But the result lands on you. And here's the trap a lot of owners are about to fall into. You've got a general liability policy, maybe errors and omissions on top of it, and you assume that covers you. It used to. But if your renewal comes back with one of these new AI exclusions tucked inside, your coverage just got quietly smaller, and nobody called to tell you. The policy looks the same price maybe, same number of pages, but there's a new clause in there that wasn't there last year, and it carves out the exact thing you might need it for. Most people never read the endorsements. That's where this hides. Now here's the other half of the squeeze, and this is the part that should really get your attention. At the same time coverage is shrinking, the law is tightening. California passed a law that took effect January 1st this year. People are calling it the AI No Defense Act. What it does is simple and harsh. It says you cannot walk into court and argue the AI did it on its own, so don't blame me. That defense is gone. Dead. And the law applies to anyone who, in their words, developed, modified, or used an AI system. There's that word again, used. So you can't hide behind the software. If your AI hurt a customer, you used it, you own it. Other states are watching this one closely. And it's not just California. The European Union's big AI law starts applying its high-risk rules on August 2nd of this year. Now you might be thinking, I'm in Sarasota, who cares about Europe? But these rules reach a lot further than people expect. If you use AI in hiring, in lending decisions, in anything they call high risk, and you touch European customers or data at all, you can get pulled in. The point isn't the fine print of one foreign law. The point is the whole world is moving the same direction at once. More rules, more responsibility, landing on the business that used the AI. So put those two things side by side. Your liability is going up. Courts and lawmakers are making it crystal clear that you are responsible for your AI. No excuses. And at the same time, your insurance coverage is going down. The carriers are carving AI out of the policies you already pay for. Liability up, coverage down. And the space in between those two lines, that's not an abstract idea. That's your house, your savings, your business. That's the gap. Let me make this real, because it's easy to think this is a big company problem. It's not. Picture an AI receptionist that books your appointments and quotes your prices. It quotes a job at half what you'd ever charge, and the customer holds you to it. Picture an AI tool that screens job applicants and quietly filters people out in a way that turns into a discrimination claim. Picture an AI that drafts your contracts or your customer emails and gets a key detail wrong. Every one of those is a real problem with a real cost. And if you've got an AI exclusion on your policy now, the insurance you've been paying for every month may just sit there and do nothing. You'd be paying premiums for a policy with a hole cut in the middle of it. Now, I want to be fair and give you the one piece of good news because it matters. Not every policy is running away from AI. Cyber insurance is actually the exception. As AI makes hacking and deepfake scams worse, cyber carriers are mostly holding their ground, and some are even adding coverage for AI-related attacks. One big insurer, AXA, rolled out a new endorsement for generative AI risks, so cyber is a bright spot. But, and this is important, don't assume your cyber policy covers everything AI. Cyber is built for attacks and data breaches. It is not built to cover your AI giving a customer bad advice or quoting a wrong price. Those are different problems, and they're insured in different places. And here's where it gets interesting, because the market always finds the gap. A whole new kind of insurance is being born right now just to cover AI. There's a startup called Claimy that calls itself the first insurance for AI agents, and they say flat out they cover the exact things that errors and omissions and cyber policies carve out. Another company, Corgi, launched AI liability insurance back in May. Think about what that tells you. Brand new companies are appearing for one reason. The policies you already have weren't built for this, and everybody in the industry knows it. When the insurance market invents a whole new product, that's the tell that the old coverage has a real hole in it. And look at how these new players actually think about your AI, because it's eye-opening. Claimy grades an AI system on a scale from A to F across 8 different kinds of risk. Things like, will the AI do something it wasn't authorized to do? Will it leak sensitive data? Will it just become unstable and drift over time? They're underwriting the behavior of the software itself like it's a teenage driver. That's how seriously the risk side of this is taking AI. Meanwhile, a lot of business owners flipped theirs on with one click and never thought about a single one of those 8 things. And don't count on the company that sold you the AI to catch you when you fall. Almost every one of these tools comes with a contract, and that contract is written to protect the vendor, not you. Lawyers who study this are blunt about it. The software is handed to you as is, and the vendor disclaims responsibility for whether it's accurate or reliable. So when the AI gets it wrong, the contract has already pointed the finger back at you. You agreed to that the second you clicked accept. Read that liability section before you turn anything on. So here's what to actually do about it, and none of it is hard. First thing, the next time your business insurance renews, do not just pay it and file it. Open it up and look for an AI exclusion. Look for any new endorsement with artificial intelligence in the title. It'll often have a code on it, something like CG4047. If you find one, that means your carrier just narrowed your coverage, and you need to know that before something goes wrong, not after. The renewal is the moment this change sneaks in. Don't let it sneak past you. Second, understand where the gap actually is. Your general liability and your errors and omissions might now exclude AI. Cyber covers attacks, but not bad AI advice. So if you're really relying on AI in your business, you may need something built for it, a specific endorsement or one of these new AI policies to fill the space your old coverage no longer touches. The whole point is to find that gap on paper, today, when it's just a conversation, not in the middle of a claim when it's a disaster and a lawyer. So before your next renewal, or before you turn on your next AI tool, ask 3 questions. 1. Does my current policy have an AI exclusion in it right now? Pull it out and check, or have someone check for you. 2. If my AI causes a problem for a customer, which one of my policies actually responds, and is there one that does? 3. Given how much I'm leaning on AI, do I need a specific endorsement or a standalone AI policy to cover the gap? Those 3 answers take one short conversation, and that conversation is a whole lot cheaper than discovering the whole the hard way. My name is Dennis Hendrickson. I'm a licensed insurance broker in Sarasota, Florida, and this is exactly the kind of thing I help business owners with: AI exposure and commercial coverage that actually fits what you're doing. If you're using AI in your business, and these days almost everybody is, it's worth 15 minutes to find out whether your policy still has your back or whether somebody quietly carved AI out of it. My contact information is right down in the description, and the first conversation doesn't cost you anything. If this was useful, do me a favor and subscribe. Every single day we break down a real AI and business story and what it actually means for your bottom line, not the hype, the practical version. The AI is getting more powerful, the rules are getting tighter, and the coverage is getting thinner. Make sure you're not standing in the gap when it matters. I'll see you tomorrow.